What's up guys, ShinyHunterDestroyer here, and honestly, I think I'm gonna make a wish today. I mean, look at the stars shining tonight. Don't they just look beautiful? I'm bound to see a shooting star soon. Oh. It's 8 in the morning. That sounds like something from episode 83 of the Pokemon Journeys anime titled The Cleffa That Became a Star. So, get your tissues out and ready because you need to prepare your mind and take a look at the stars, because if you look closely there's something there. I can sense it. First and foremost, I enjoyed a lot of this episode, and I think this episode did a lot of positive things that made it such an enjoyable episode to watch on my end. Though it didn't focus on our boys or Cynthia's appearance in this episode, the little things in this episode they did for them was honestly super pleasing to me. It wasn't much, yeah, but seeing Cinderace this episode really put a smile on my face, but that appearance wasn't the biggest on Ghost's side this episode. The biggest part would definitely be Grookey actually doing a Grookey thing that was introduced in his debut, replenishing the life of plants. I'm proud of you, son. But alright, something that deserves to be talked about is the emotional impact of the plot and story with Kirida and her Cleffa. That was a delight to watch, but I'd like to simply ask Journeys, can you not make me cry? People are gonna think it's just a thing I do all the time, please. The plot was a classic, and they did the classic really well in my opinion. Also, nice little callback to Pokemon the Movie 3. Good touch, writers. In my opinion, the way they handled this episode was more than satisfactory, and I was enjoying every bit of it, especially because of the heavy nature of the plot this episode. They did a great job in depicting little Kirida's mind thinking about her late Cleffa, and I'm glad they didn't hide that. Death is a heavy topic always, and this episode shows that they really shouldn't even hide it, even if this is directed at the younger audience. The connection that Kirida had with Cleffa was felt substantially, and every time I would see her look into the stars, I would get that little tangy feeling in my heart. And not only that, but right before the battle with the unknown, the emotion by Kirida really dug into me. Adding to all that emotion too, in almost every Kirida scene and every deep scene in general, the music picked in those heavy scenes really helped sell the plot and highlighted heavy moments left and right. The message delivered in this whole episode was priceless. They did the classic tale of not wanting to say goodbye in a feasible way and kept it engaging, adding elements like the unknown and Cynthia later down the stretch. But, okay, I've been talking a bit about Cynthia, and I should probably, explain the details on all of that. And no, actually, she showed up as more than a silhouette this episode. Cynthia didn't play a substantial role in the episode by any means as I see it, but her appearance here in a nutshell is still substantial, and the way they handled it is, completely fine. It was completely fine because they showed where she was, but they didn't do much to make her return in any way conflicting to anything else, especially because for sure we're seeing her again in the near or distant future. Her appearance was substantial because the Master's Aid alone makes her really important, but I'm glad the writers didn't think because of that she had to have a huge role for her return. And even though without a big role, this episode really highlighted Cynthia's personality well with Kirida and connecting it to her interest in Pokemon history. That's where the unknown came in. Though there is probably a lot more to take away from this episode, these are definitely my main takeaways. I mean, animation wasn't really an important factor for this episode as it mainly was just story with Kirida, but man, did some scenes convey that emotional kind of style, if that makes any sense at all. Just some scenes really helped me get in the feels. Not only that, but the music choice, like I talked about before, paired with most of this episode really nicely, added emotion, which I'm all for. And even after doing all that, introducing a key character in Cynthia in an episode like this, it sits pretty nicely in my mind. Overall, I really enjoyed everything, or almost everything about this episode. Especially the Grookey part, guys. I can't believe Grookey actually did something. Nothing in this episode to me really deserves a big complaint at all, and it was just super emotional in the end, and you know what I think about emotional. It was great. Okay, Grookey, you could go now. See you in another 30 episodes.